In this video, we're going to be talking about the master number 22. We're going to be looking at some technique of using geometry that came to me that you probably haven't heard of before is a really cool way to understand the number 22 and why it's considered the master builder. And we're going to be talking a little about the number 4, the number 6, the number 2, and some other numbers potentially in this video. So those numbers, if you want to know about those numbers, also stick around for this. Okay, let me start this video by saying that today is the 22nd day, which is why I'm making this video. And also how I'm using this energy is I'm going to the gym. 22 is a really good time to go to the gym. It's a builder. Statistically, a lot of the bodybuilders have this number. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not into bodybuilding. I'm into more strength training. But it's a good time to use your emotional energy to create something. So let's talk about 22-4. What we have, let's start with 4, because 4 here is three things when you're looking at a compound number. The digit sum, 22/4, or just shorthand 22-4. 4 is showing, number 1, what does this relationship need to be in a balanced state? It's a success code. Number 2, it's showing the effect of these two numbers in a relationship. It's the imbalanced effect when it's not balanced, and it's the balanced effect when it's in harmony. So let's talk about it in 4 from these 3 points of view. Okay, first of all, 22-4. What is the need here? We have two number 2s, a lot of emotions, a lot of sensitivity. This, and a lot of abstractness, a lot of longing. This is showing that this relationship between these two numbers requires organization, structure. If you see a digit sum 4 for any of the numbers, it's showing that this is what's required for that relationship to be in balance. So already we can say 22-4 needs organization, they need structure, and it's through this structure that they can develop systems that will make it more efficient and optimize and innovate. That's why 4 is connected with Rahu in Vedic astrology, which seems to be polar opposites. You look at Rahu is just insatiable desire, always chasing the future, always wants the next best thing on the cutting edge, very innovative. Where 4 in the numerology is like this number, it's very practical, grounded, it's very, very much organized structure, which seems to be two different things. Actually, it's through the intelligence of how to organize and create structure that innovation happens, creating a foundation from which you can build upon and then go achieve the next best thing. That's how this number is supposed to work. Now, 4 as a side, 4 in imbalance, 4 can be too much where they put themselves in a box. They can become too rigid. This is one of the imbalance effects of 4, where this is how it is. This is my world. This is how it works. Now, anything outside of that, I can't bring it in. I'm too much like a cube. This is my box that I put myself in. I'm keeping myself there. But then part of them wants to innovate. And so what's really good for 4 in general is learning and getting new concepts to expand their box. 4 should be always learning something that will expand their conceptual lexicon to help them grow, to help them expand their world so they can get more and more innovation, more augmentation, more structure that will help them to optimize in a much bigger and grander way and build something really, really cool. That's a little hack for number 4. Okay, but this isn't a normal 4. This is a 4 that's coming from two number 2s, where a 13 or 31 is a different type of 4. Okay, so that's the balance code. We need organization and structure in this relationship. Imbalance. In order to talk about the imbalance and balance, we have to start looking at the number 22. So what do you have here? We have an inner digit 2, which is the Shiva of the number, and we have an outer digit 2, which is the Shakti of the number. When Shakti bows to Shiva, then we create the balanced effect. When Shakti wants to go off and do their own thing, then we create destruction and chaos, an imbalanced effect. Okay, so the inner digit here, Shiva, what does this mean? It means this number has a pressure, a motivation to feel. It wants to feel. It wants to be emotional. Because 2, the way that they work is through sensitivity, they're able to understand. That's how they get their information. Through inner and outer sensitivity in this particular number. So inner sensitivity means intuition. They sense the environment, they sense something, the subtle vibrations, they're always listening, not just through words, but they're always in a receptive state where they're listening. to the subtle vibrations, how people are feeling, what they're thinking, like this. They can pick up on all this stuff. And then it percolates up into their conscious awareness through intuition. They just feel it. They feel it in their body. They feel an unspoken, something unspoken, because 2 is very much an unspoken number. It's not until we get to 3 where we start getting into actual spoken word. 2 is more like a body language number. It just feels. So Shiva as a number, it wants to connect. It wants to experience. It wants to experience connection. 2 has a longing for going back to the original unity. Now we're going to segue into geometry to really break this down. Okay, looking at the square. Imagine a corner. This is why 1 is from something from nothing. A spark happens. All of a sudden a corner is there, this anchor, this inspiration, and it shoots off 2 lines. These 2 lines, these 2 edges will go on forever unless they're connected. That's why 2 can be always in a state of longing for that unity, because they're always trying to connect, because they're open-ended. They're very abstract. And without that anchor of the 1, the corner, they're waxing and waning from one polarity to another polarity. They can be like bipolar in this way, just all over the place. They need that anchor. They need that intention. They need that purpose. They need that vision, which is the 1. Now, on the other side, you have another 1 doing this. This is where the master number 11 comes in. The single digits are showing one perspective within the master numbers. They're showing the inner perspective. So simultaneously, 2 corners appear opposed from each other, both shooting out 2 lines, and those 2 lines connect to create a square. So what do you have here? The master number 11, 2 number 1s. 1 and 1 is 2. Master number 11/2. The one who has the master vision, who can see the whole thing. This ultimately creates to a cube. Who can see the whole thing and sparks it. They're the initiation. Then the 2s go out. The 2s are going out longing to connect. It's the womb through which they can bring something through. When these 2 corners, their 2s connect, it creates 2 new corners, and it creates a square. 22/4, the master builder. 2 sets of 2 edges creates a 4, a container for the experience to happen. So 22/4 uses their emotions, their sensitivity, their emotions, their intuition to build something, a container that can be built upon. Hence, they're the master builder. So, what is this number doing in balance and imbalance? In imbalance, when it's not working, the 2 is going off, and 2 here is representing the action of the number. The inner digit is more of the desire, the motivation. The outer digit, the Shakti, is more of the action, the power, the flow. So what 2 is doing when they're ignoring their intuition is they're too sensitive. They're too timid, too much second guessing. And so they're very much going to this people pleaser type of role where they're just using the outside world, and they're kind of in a way of survival, trying to make and hold connections so that they feel safe. They feel like they have some sort of anchor. And specifically with this 4, with this imbalance 4, it means that this person would be very much attached to security through structure, overly structured. And particularly this creates a 42/6. What that means is this person, in order to feel coherent, would be a big time homebody. They would be somebody who could only feel safe when they're in very, very familiar area, very familiar space, like their home, or someone who they've known their whole life, like their parents' house or something like this. That this is what's showing an imbalance, that they won't feel safe, and they'll use structure to feel secure, and particularly that will bring them a certain level of coherence that make them feel like coherent, in other word, like healed. Coherence means they don't have this emotional jitteriness. Coherence means is a nice coherence. That's the only time they can feel that way. Now, when Shakti is letting Shiva take charge, this is where they use their intuition to drive them. When their intuition meets this inner knowledge of how to adapt this and facilitate it, then they can create the positive effect of 4, which is they can know how to build something. So let's look at this number and break it down in a more practical way. First of all, we can say right away, this number would do very, very well with routine, with structures, with habits that will allow them to channel their emotions and contain them so they don't become too abstract, too bipolar. Having some sort of habits and routines will allow them to channel their emotions in a very, very productive way. So structure is very, very important for this person. Inwardly, this structuring of the emotions, again, if the structure tries to take control and that is the priority and the emotions are downplayed and how they feel is downplayed, it creates somebody who is like, they only feel safe. They're going to be too much of a perfectionist. They want to perfect their emotions instead of feeling them the way they're supposed to feel. In this raw kind of abstract way, they're always trying to perfect them. It's never good enough. They want to try to put them in a box. They want to heal their own emotions. When what they're supposed to be doing is allowing themselves to feel whatever it is and then contain that feeling after you get it all out and then find a way to organize it and create some structure. That'll be very healing for this person. It'll feel very nurturing to them. Like they'll just feel so coherent, like so healthy, harmonized. And then it sets them up for success on the outside, which is, this number is a mirror. So an imbalance on the outside, what they would do is, they'd be obsessed with trying to structure other people and optimize and healing other things outside of themselves. They want to go out and take responsibility for everybody else's problems, everybody else's lack of structure. And they want to go out and heal the world. That's why 42/6 can be the number of heal the world. Or they can be very aggressive in doing this. Because 2s are very, very reactive. And so they can get this because they're imbalanced emotionally already, this reactive emotions, they can't handle it. And so they have to go out and impose some sort of structure and to create some sort of healing. Because 6 is a number that wants to take responsibility for everybody else. They want to martyr themselves. They want to perfect everything in imbalance. And how they go about doing this is through trying to structure everybody else, trying to bring healing through telling other people like what they need to remove and how to organize themselves. That's in the imbalance. Now in balance, this number first uses their sensitivity. They first listen. They're not acting first. They're first listening to the environment. And then once they understand what the environment needs, then they introduce some sort of structure, some sort of organization, and how to channel this intuition, this emotional understanding. And that will create healing for other people. It will create healing for themselves and for others. It means that they will be able to really also have a beautiful effect on the space. This would be somebody who would be fantastic as an interior decorator because they could go into a space, they can feel that space, and they can know how to organize it and structure it to create this beautiful harmony. So this would be a really good interior decorator, someone which also tells you that this person's personal space is very, very important. This is somebody who really needs to have a space where it's organized in a way that makes them feel good. Don't be in a place that's all dirty. And if you feel a place is energetically like just off, then leave. Don't be in a place like that for too long because it could feel draining to you. It can make you feel insecure and it can throw you out of whack where then it starts to throw this number out of whack. So it's a master number. Master numbers means it's a big energy. It takes a little bit to wrestle isn't the right word. It's like a wild stallion. You have to break it in. But once you break it in, this number offers the prize of a lot of power. It's a master number. Let's wrap this up by saying, what happens when they're able to nurture themselves on the inside? And by creating this beautiful structure through their emotions that creates this internal harmony, and do the same on the outside in the outside world. It creates the 66/12/3, which is another master number. It means this number unlocks the power when they're in balance of knowing how to nurture themselves and the outside world to create incredible growth. It also says that this number, when they're in balance, feels incredible joy, this incredible joy of love. And particularly emotional intelligence, the 12/3, in its balance is very, very emotionally intelligent. So this number would know how to, when it's unlocked, when it's balanced out, will know how to nurture something to create a tremendous growth. It will be able to know how to do this with a high level, high degree of emotional intelligence to create a incredible growth. Someone who knows how to say the right thing to the person, just a few words that can change that person's life, knows how to do that for themselves as well, knows how to nurture themselves, and ultimately build something great. Build something in a way that nobody has done before. So some jobs for, this video is getting very long, but I'm going to go for it. 22-4, I've seen, they make tremendous assistants. Like somebody who would be like the executive assistant to like a CEO. Because this person knows how to listen and receive those ideas and make something out of them. Tremendous in that position. This is a really, really good role for them. But in general, 22s do really well when they connect with people. They can take other people's visions and facilitate them to create something. They can take intentions and facilitate them in a very powerful way, above and beyond what most people can do, because they're the master builder. They really can do this on a very, very high level and create tremendous growth. Build huge companies. Take ideas and build them into huge things. It could be as simple as building a building or building a company, building out products, building out systems that heal other people. Any kind of structure that will create healing and harmony for other people. This is the 22, the master builder, who knows how to create the foundation from which healing can happen. Okay, I'm going to stop and here. This video is much longer than I want it to be, but this is how it came out, and I honor that. And there's a lot of great information in this video about 22s, about 4s and 6s, maybe a little bit all over the place. But if you watch this video more than once, or you probably have listened to this and got something out of it. If you found something useful, give this video a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave a comment underneath this video. Now, 22, it depends on where it's placed. Is it your birthday? Is it the year 1984, for example? 9 plus 8, 9. 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 4. Is it your life path? And what are the other numbers surrounding it? If you like to have a reading and analysis to discover your personal success codes and how you can thrive in this life, how you're designed to function internally, externally, mentally, emotionally, what you're supposed to be aiming for, what's your purpose, and what are some of the greatest ways you can achieve the maximum growth in the shortest amount of time, leave a comment below and let's set up a consultation where we can look at a reading and analysis for you based on Chaldean numerology. If you like more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. As always, wishing the best. Happy manifesting. God bless. Om.